Howdy do everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to review a knife. It's a little $20 knife that I picked up at the True Value hardware store. I know that I've always gone, is that knife that's sitting on that shelf any good? It looks kind of cool, but is it any good? Well, let's take a look at it and review some of its features. See how sharp it is out of the box and maybe try and break it a little bit. I don't know. Alright, so here we go. It's True. That's the name of the knife company, I guess. They're boasting it's a modern keychain knife. I don't know how you can call it a modern keychain knife, but I mean, oh, and of course there's your California requirement there. Everything's gonna give us cancer, including knives. You can see it's a clip point knife, built-in carabiner, so it's going to clip onto your keychain pretty well. It's one of the things that drew me to it. So let's go ahead and see here. Really well packaged, I can tell you that much. Let's see here. Yeah, really well packaged. Alright, so here it is. It looks to be an anodized aluminum. That, it's kind of that, what do you call it? Roughed up aluminum bit. Let's see if I can get you. There we go, that's a good picture of it. Assuming that's to give it some grip, but I tell you what, the moment this thing gets wet in any way, it is going to be slicker than all get out. So you're not going to have much in the way of keeping it in your hand if you get some moisture in between you and the knife. So we got that carabiner there, which seems pretty nice and springy. It's got a decent amount of space on it, so you know, you can actually hook it onto a pretty big keychain, really. Yeah. Let's see. We got star pattern screw holes, so it can be tightened easily. And it's kind of got a really cool shape. Let's see this. That's the shape of it. Let's see here if I get a good picture. Not bad. Let's unfold that there. Really stiff, really stiff. There we go. So it's stiff and springy to open, but I will say this about it. It doesn't lock. It's got no lock back. So over time, as we all know, people that don't lose their knives all the time, usually the springs that are in here, they get a little worn and they start flopping around. So when you open a knife like this and the spring is starting to wear out, you run the potential of it closing back on you. But it's pretty stiff, so we'll see. Okay, we're going to go ahead and see about the sharpness of this here blade right out of the box. Let's see. Takes a little work to get it started, but all in all, it's pretty clean cut. Give you a couple strips of it here. Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, it's not very heavy, by the way. I did forget to talk about that. It's pretty deep. It feels substantial in weight, but it's not heavy. I wouldn't call it like a lead weight or nothing, but definitely a good weight. I will say it was designed in America, but produced in China. So let's see what else we can do to it. with reasonable circumstance anyway. See what we can do to test this blade out. Maybe even the carabiner. We'll see. All right, we'll use it to clean away these. You know, it'll do a good representation of using some real wear on this blade. I mean, they're pretty tough. So, and it is just a pocket knife, so you're not going to be using it to like cut up your steaks or anything crazy like that. Butcher a whole animal. So let's just go ahead and get in there and trim away those. Let's see here. Bring the camera in on that. See any deformation of the blades. See. Looks like there might be a little wear. The tip may have been blunted or twisted a little bit. Alright. See what else we can do to this thing. Alright, I think we're going to take this here blade and we're going to stick it in this crack, and then we're going to wrench on it a little bit. I'm not going to get crazy with it, but I'm going to put a little bit of weight on it left to right. Just think about how you get stuck in something and maybe use it for something it's not supposed to. See how it's going to hold up from the perspective of being wrenched on. Now, I can tell you now that I could probably put enough pressure on there to just snap that blade handle, because it's really a rigid blade. Let's see if I can get that flex in there. You can see, or at least I can see, this flexing inside of there. Look at that. This is definitely a keychain knife. It wouldn't hold up to a lot of really rigorous use. So, I don't know how I'm gonna test that carabiner. Let's see here. Maybe I'll hook it to this wire behind me and kind of see if I can get that to pull a little bit. Let's see. Okay, let's see here. Putting a lot of pressure on that carabiner right there. See if we can get it to deform a little bit. It's pretty stiff. Oh, I did manage to do something to it. A little bit of pulling on there. Let's see if I can get that camera right. I've managed to twist that little carabiner bit there, but that took quite a bit of force to do that. Let's see if I can. Ooh, this might be permanently attached to this thing. So I did manage to bend that a bit, but that took a lot of work to get it to bend on there. And that's not something, that'd be like if you got hooked into something when you were wearing it on your keychain, but it didn't come off. I mean, that was a lot of work to get it to do this. All right, I'm gonna use these needle nose pliers on it. Let's see how that works. There we go. Yeah, it just got wedged on the side of it. Not bad. All right. Now for this test, we're gonna take it and we're gonna skip it down the driveway like it's a skipping stone on a pond. really show and see what's going to happen to this finish. Because I know that I hate when I get one of these knives and I put it on a keychain or something and it bangs around for just, maybe a couple weeks. All of a sudden, all the stuff is gone off of it, and it doesn't look like a pretty knife anymore. It's just a beat up hunk of metal on a chain. So we're gonna skip it down this driveway and see what happens and see how that finish holds up. Here we go. Let's do it open. Let's see if we can do it and deform the blade a little bit on a rock. All right, here we go. All right, just walked down here and picked it up. Let's see what we're dealing with here. We got some pretty good nicks in it. We got some pretty good scratches on the back there. It appears as though this finish might hold up all right, but if you put it on a keychain and beat it around a bunch, it's definitely going to show its wear. Definitely. Now let's see that blade. That's the most important part right there. This blade here is doing pretty good. I don't see any warpage in it. Went for a decent skip too. All in all, folks, I think this here blade didn't do too bad. So if you're ever at the True Value store and you want a blade, that's it right there. So not bad. As far as keychain blades go, it was pretty rough and tough. I'd say it definitely gets a B. An A would be like a knife that'd hold up impeccably, but there's not many of those around. Maybe one day I'll find one. Well, maybe not for $20. We'll see you guys around. See what kind of trouble I can get into next here.